Assalamu alaikum, Bilal Technology Wala here once again with another topic in conversation with ChatGPT. The topic of our today's conversation is how to overcome self doubt and build confidence. So, let me take into the call ChatGPT. Hey ChatGPT, how are you? I am going to have a conversation with you on the topic how to overcome self doubt and build confidence. Are you ready for that?
I'm doing great. Thank you. And absolutely, I'm ready. That sounds like a really meaningful topic. Let me know what specific aspects you want to dive into, and we'll get started.
So, what does self doubt look like in everyday life, and how does it usually shows up?
Yeah, definitely. Self doubt can show up in a bunch of different ways. For example, it might look like second guessing your decisions, feeling like you're not good enough for a job or a task, or constantly comparing yourself to others. It can also show up as perfectionism, where you feel like you have to do everything flawlessly or fear failure. It can even manifest as imposter syndrome, where you feel like you don't deserve your achievements. It's pretty common, but definitely manageable with the right strategies.
Uh, so, can you recall a moment when self doubt held you back from doing something important? What happened?
Absolutely. I can share some examples from a general perspective. For a lot of people, it might happen before a big presentation or a job interview where they question their own abilities and worry about being judged. Sometimes it can even hold someone back from pursuing a passion or a new opportunity because they're worried about failing. It's definitely something that a lot of people have experienced, and the good news is that it can be overcome with time and practice.
So, what are the most common negative thoughts a person experience, and where do you think they come from?
Yeah, some of the most common negative thoughts include things like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm a fraud. These thoughts often come from past experiences, maybe failures or critical feedback, and they can also be influenced by societal pressures or comparisons with others. Sometimes they can also stem from childhood experiences or learned behaviors. The good news is that with awareness and practice, we can definitely challenge and reframe them.
So, how do you currently respond when you doubt your abilities? Take example.
Yeah, definitely. One approach is to acknowledge the doubt without letting it control you. For instance, when I feel unsure about a task, I might remind myself of past successes or review positive feedback I've received. Another example would be setting small, achievable goals to build confidence step by step. And sometimes talking it out with a friend or mentor can really help put things in perspective. It's all about building that resilience over time.
Quite good information. What areas of life, work, relationship, personal goals are most affected by low self confidence?
Yeah, low self confidence can definitely have a ripple effect. In work, it might lead to missed opportunities for promotions or hesitation in sharing ideas. In relationships, it can cause difficulty in expressing needs or setting boundaries, which can lead to misunderstanding. And with personal goals, self doubt can hold someone back from taking risks or pursuing passions. Overall, it can really impact almost every area of life. But the good part is that with intentional effort, it can definitely be improved.
So, what do you think? What are the common causes of self doubt?
Yeah, there are quite a few common causes. One big factor is past experiences, especially failures or criticism, which can leave a lasting impact. Another cause can be comparing ourselves to others, especially in the age of social media. It can also stem from upbringing, like overly critical environments or lack of encouragement. And sometimes it can be linked to personality traits like perfectionism or anxiety. But understanding these causes is definitely the first step toward overcoming them.
Is there any scientific approach why this happen, or is there any ground or experiences or researches? So, what is really going to happen? Because why is this happening?
Absolutely. There's actually quite a bit of research on this. Psychologically, self doubt is often linked to cognitive biases like negative self perception or confirmation bias, where we focus on negative feedback and ignore positive evidence. Also, neurobiologically, our brain, these threat response system can trigger self doubt as a protective mechanism. On top of that, social and cultural factors play a role, like societal expectations and stereotypes. So it's a mix of psychological, biological, and social factors, and understanding them helps us tackle self doubt more effectively.
So, is there any thing to do with the upbringing of the child in the early ages, which has impact on this personality trait?
Absolutely. Early upbringing plays a huge role. For instance, children who grow up in environments that are overly critical or unsupportive may develop self doubt and low self esteem. On the flip side, nurturing and encouraging environments help build resilience and confidence. Attachment styles also form early on and can influence how we perceive ourselves and our abilities. So the foundation laid in childhood definitely contributes to those personality traits we carry into adulthood.
That how to overcome these in the early ages for less than 5-year-old child.
Yeah, for young children, there are a few key approaches. One is fostering a positive and supportive environment where you celebrate effort rather than just results. Encouraging a growth mindset is really helpful. So, teaching them that mistakes are part of learning. Also, providing plenty of positive reinforcement and affirmation helps build their self esteem. And finally, modeling confidence and healthy self talk as a parent or our caregiver can really make a big difference. It's all about nurturing a positive and encouraging foundation.
So how is this going to work for 18 to 20-year old, which is going to a higher school or early college stage?
Yeah, at that age, it's definitely more about building independence and resilience, encouraging them to set realistic goals and celebrating their progress can really help. Also, teaching them coping strategies like mindfulness or positive self-talk can make a big difference. It's also important to foster a growth mindset so they understand that setbacks are just part of the learning process. And of course, having a supportive network, mentors, friends, family can really boost their confidence as they navigate higher education and beyond.
So what do you think that building confidence does play a role in the education system, or the society have a greater impact on that?
Oh, definitely. Building confidence plays a huge role in education because it impacts how students engage with learning, how willing they are to participate, and how resilient they are in the face of challenges. Confident students are more likely to take academic risks, seek help when needed, and ultimately achieve better outcomes. On the societal level, when we have confident individuals, it leads to more innovation, better collaboration, and overall a more positive community. So it's definitely a symbiotic relationship between the education system and society at large. I think one of the main keys is fostering a growth mindset where individuals understand that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. One other important aspect is building self awareness. So, recognizing and challenging negative self talk. Support systems are crucial as well, whether that's mentors, friends, or family who provide encouragement and constructive feedback. Also, celebrating small wins and progress helps reinforce confidence over time. Ultimately, it's about consistent practice, self compassion, and a supportive environment.
Summarize, please.
Of course, today we talked about self doubt and confidence from various angles. We explored how self doubt shows up in everyday life, like second guessing decisions or feeling inadequate. We also touched on the causes, including past experiences, societal pressures, and upbringing. We discussed ways to overcome it, like fostering a growth mindset, building supportive environments, and practicing self compassion. We also highlighted how confidence impacts both education and society as a whole. Overall, it was a great conversation about understanding and building confidence at different stages of life.
So it was all from today's conversation with ChatGPT. We had a thoughtful conversation and very informative conversation. I hope you people liked it. Till the next topic and next on conversation, I am saying goodbye to ChatGPT. Thank you so much once again.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure chatting with you. I'm glad you found it helpful and informative. Definitely looking forward to our next conversation. Until then, take care and thank you so much.